if the world was without hate and everyone loved each other with the utmost love, things like world hunger, homelessness, murder, theft, these things wouldn't exist like they do today. Imagine if you lived in a beautiful home with no worries at all, and you looked out the window only to see across the street a homeless woman, skinny to the bone due to starvation, and that woman happened to be your mother. Most likely you would take her inside your home to provide her with shelter and food without even a second thought. Now imagine every person on earth shared that same love with every other person. The world would be virtually perfect. Of course, we would have to deal with natural disasters like tornadoes, hurricanes, lions and such, but maybe not even, because imagine how many geniuses there are out there who could develop technologies to limit natural disasters, but will never reach their full potential because they don't have a home or food to eat. So why do us humans cling on to hate if without hate we could live in a perfect world? When you actually think about it, it's pretty simple. We don't understand each other, but misunderstanding is only part of the issue. It's what we do with our misunderstanding. Let me paint a picture. Say there was a man who has a medical condition where he can't stop swearing. Every day he's just screaming swear words to the top of his lungs. He can't help it. And one night he decides to enter a bar, takes a seat next to some gentleman, and at the top of his lungs he screams. The gentleman sitting next to him is insulted and punches him in the face. In that very moment, both of these men are feeling injustice. The man who swears uncontrollably just got punched in the face for no apparent reason, and the man who punched him in the face was just insulted for no apparent reason. Later that night, things are cleared up and both men realize it's just a misunderstanding. The man who swears uncontrollably appears fine now that things are resolved, but the truth is, that punch can't be taken back. So now he feels inside a sense of injustice. Whenever we experience injustice, it reaches the most primal part of the human, and it activates a section of the brain called the anterior insula, leaving a lingering pain as our primal instincts desire justice. Now that's nothing compared to, let's say, the 4.5 million innocent people that died in the war that ensued from 9/11. And at the same time, getting portrayed in the media as less than human and evil. People's children, parents, friends, wives. That's a punch in the face if you ask me. And along with all of these people who died are family members who are still alive, who now feel this injustice to the highest extent. Many who likely desire to kill and avenge their loved ones. Many who did kill and consumed by hate, even committing the same act that was done to them. Killing innocent people, which creates more hate in the hearts of those related to the victims. So you might be thinking, okay, this is more than just a misunderstanding. I can understand the uncontrollable swearer being punched in the face, but killing 4.5 million people, how is that just a misunderstanding? But I assure you, it is a misunderstanding. And the thing about this is you aren't necessarily going to determine exactly how it's a misunderstanding. And if you try to, and you find no real answer, you yourself may start to feel with hate. The misunderstanding could be in an infinite number of ways, like the misunderstanding of the value of human life. Some people actually don't value human life in the same way that you and I might. And it's not necessarily their fault. It's a lot of times just the circumstances that they were given. And a lot of times it's just how they were raised. So if someone doesn't value life in the first place, then you can't expect them to think that killing people is wrong. Or let's say the opposite. Let's say they do value life a whole lot. Well, in a lot of religions it's believed that when you die you may go to heaven. So if murderers have that belief, they very well may think that they're doing you a favor by killing you. Because if it was that simple as dying and you can fly around and have whatever you want, who wouldn't want to die right now? So, murderers may have good intentions, but just the fact that we don't understand them, there's a deep feeling of injustice that will persist inside of the victims. So how do you solve this problem? Really, the way to solve it is to always assume the best intentions of other people and never retaliate unless it's necessary. If someone smacked you, there was a spider on your face and they were trying to kill it. If someone cursed at you, that's just how they express love. If someone tried to poison you, you actually don't always need to find an answer, but just accept that it was for a good reason and you just don't understand why. Here's a story to drive the point home. I was in Germany and I was invited to a party. The honorable thing to do is to bring a gift for the host. So I went and bought some sparkling cider and wrapped it up. When I got to the party, I found the host and told him, "Here, I have a gift for you." The host immediately called security. They dragged me outside, jumped me, and left me with a black eye. It wasn't until the next day that I found out gift in Germany means poison. So although I had nothing but good intentions and a pure heart, I left feeling distraught and grew the slightest bit of hate for humanity. Imagine someone going through a scenario like this 1,000 times. After being treated unjustly for so long, the worst evils that you never thought of could easily turn into a Saturday at a mall.